Summer Fortenberry National Area. This is National Sales Director Heidi Gelzer, and I'm so excited to be talking to the Fortenberry leadership team. I've been watching you guys in the Applause magazine, and you are just getting better and better this year, and it's so fun to see the growth. Well, I know that you've been listening to some national sales directors, or you will be listening to some national sales directors, and so I'm excited to share what I am passionate about right now. And the reason I'm not moving very much, I'm a very animated person, and this little camera does not like it when I move around a lot. Last night I did a Google Hangout for some people, and I was totally out of focus half the time because my camera doesn't like to catch up with me. So this is very awkward for me to be sitting here like steady. So if I go out of focus, it's because I get excited. But what I'm excited about right now are leaders, sales directors making money in Mary Kay, making money. And so, Mary Kay used to say this, well, first of all, I was never motivated by money because I grew up without money. And so I've lived without money. I'm fine without money. But Senior National Sales Director Lisa Madsen once said to me, "You're not money motivated because you haven't made any money yet." So that made me think. And Mary Kay used to say that the size of your paycheck is in direct proportion to the number of lives that you change. And so you guys, my passion is about changing women's lives and to be enriching them spiritually, emotionally, and financially. And in the process, my paycheck grew. So I was having a conversation with some DIQs about a month ago, and one of the DIQs is actually a teacher. And she said, well, I'm going to have to keep teaching while I'm a sales director for about 3 years until I can replace my income, because my husband said I cannot quit my teaching job until I replace my income. And so I asked her, can I ask you, how much do you make a year? How much would you need to replace? And she said $52,000, and said, okay, I'm going to go run some numbers and I'm going to see how long it would take you to make $52,000 as a sales director so that you have the true numbers on this. And I got excited. I got excited because I went back to what I did as a brand new sales director. And I actually looked at my numbers, you guys. I went and looked at my 1099s, and I'm actually put it on paper, and I'm going to email it to Summer so that she can get it out to you along with this Google Hangout. So you should actually have the paper in front of you as you're going through this. And so sometimes we have the limiting belief ourselves. If we're not making $50,000 or more as a sales director, we have the limiting belief that we can't make that money, or that hardly anybody in Mary Kay makes that money, or that it's going to take too much time to make that money, or that I can't truly keep God first, family second, career third, and make that money. I don't know what your limiting belief is, but I do know this, that if you are not in a Cadillac and you're watching this Google Hangout, or you are not in a unit club, or you are not producing at $500,000 or the Trip or Offspringing sales directors, I don't think it's because of your skill level, because you are a sales director. And did you know that the top 1% of this $5 billion international company are sales directors? How would you feel if someone introduced themselves to you and they said, hey, I actually am part of a leadership team that is the top 1% of a multi-billion-dollar international company? You would be impressed, right? That's who you are, my friends. You are the top 1% of a multi-billion-dollar international company. Start living it and start owning it. But why aren't you where you want to be necessarily in maybe the status, the color of your car, or your paycheck? And I don't think it's because of lack of work. I think that most of you are hard workers who are sales directors. And I don't think it's because of lack of want. I think we're focusing on the wrong things. We're focusing on the wrong things. You see, we want it to be different, right? We want someone to tell us there is another way besides holding 2 to 3 parties a week that is going to get me where I want to go. And as I research, and as I look back, and as I study top people in this company, my friends, I don't think there's any other way. And so if you don't want to hold consistent parties, then you're not going to make the money that I believe you want to make. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Let's go back to old school Mary Kay. Holding full circle parties. That's the right activity. And when you do the right activity with the right people, the right target market, right away, right things will happen. And so here's the formula. Here's the formula. And it's nothing new. It's nothing that we don't know. But you guys, I believe that you would hold parties if you would just realize that that's what's going to make us the money. It's not the training of the people. Old school Mary Kay, take the people with you, put them in your car. We coach them on the way to the party, and then we coach them on the way home from the party. Remember, I believe that your parties are your first form of new consultant orientation, right? So what are you doing at your parties? Are you finding your new leaders? You know, a national sales director, Patty Olson, a couple of my directors just went to her director meeting in Austin, Texas. And what she said is that as sales directors, we should not be doing IPAs, not income producing activities. We should be doing CPAs, consultant producing activities, and LPAs, leader building activities. But you know what, you guys? It takes the same form. It's holding parties, but we have a different mentality. We're not out there just getting income from our sales and booking from appointment to appointment. We're out there intentionally looking for our new consultants, intentionally looking for our new leaders, but we're still holding parties, you guys. We're still holding parties. As National Sales Director Linda Tupin talks about, it's back to the kitchen table. It's back to the kitchen table. And you guys, we're good. We're good when we're holding parties. So why are we not holding more of them? I don't know, but I'm going to give you the scenario about making some money with it. Can you get excited? Let's get excited. Okay. And if I get excited, I might get out of focus. So I just want to say, be careful. All right. You might get dizzy for a little bit. All right. So here we go. As you're looking at this piece of paper, 2 to 3 full circle on purpose, passionate parties is where it's at. Not just going to slap the product on the faces and check it off the list. That's not going to earn you the money or produce the leaders that I believe you want to produce in your business. But when a director holds 8 to 10 personal parties a month with the intention of gold medaling, great things are going to happen. Okay, and I'm going to give you the numbers on this. When a director gold medals, 3 will do something. Who's excited about that? That's exciting. You guys, you're beating yourselves up because you're recruiting 1 to 2 people and they're not returning your phone calls, or they're not the superstars, and you think there's something wrong with you, or there's something wrong with your new consultant orientation. No, you just don't have the right people to orientate, whatever the word is. National Sales Director Amy Gamboyan said something so wise one time. She said, key people are never in hiding. Key people are never in hiding. If you're wondering if they're a key person, then they're not a key person. Okay, you guys? So if we're holding 2 to 3 on-purpose parties a month and we're gold medaling, 2, as Diane Mentably says, are going to be kidnappers. They're not going to call you back. They're going to steal the kit and you're never going to hear from them again. That's why we gold medal, to ensure that when we recruit 1 to 3, we're not recruiting the kidnappers, okay? Of that gold medal, our goal is to get 3, to work with 3 of them. 1 of them will have the circle of influence to get to red jacket, and 2 of them we can get to senior consultant. Now think about that, my friends. If everybody on your unit, in your unit died, you could still get 10 new a month. That's exciting. If you're willing to hold 2 to 3 parties a week and to gold medal, and then to be intentional about building 1 to red and 2 to senior, that equals 10 new unit members a month. No one else has to do anything. And we all know the rules that Mary Kay lived by. 5 new a month is maintenance and 10 is growth. And you know what? Most of the Mary Kay world is not recruiting 10 a month, but that's what we need to get to, you guys, if you want to see growth and if you want to make more money. So here's the numbers on this. 3 of your personal of the gold medal will do something. That will average 3,000 in new production. 3,000. Your personal order is going to be 1,000 or higher. Some of you are masters at selling this product, but it needs to at least be 1,000 as a sales director, my friends, holding parties, okay? Your base of a unit of 24, and some of you have much bigger units, but this is good for you to know as you offspring sales directors. A base of 24 will produce an average of 1,500, not much more. So make sure that your new directors know this and that they continue to work, because they're not going to have that production coming from who they have in their units. Then if you have 5 more unit members, right, because you're working to get 1 person to red and 2 to senior, that's another 3,000 that's coming into your unit in production. Off to the right of that, it's going to show you the percentages and the paycheck, and it's going to break it down. But your total production is 8,500, okay? Plus your qualifieds, that's going to put you at premier level production, right? Because premier level is a straight 9,000 a month. You're doing $8,500 in production plus car points. Hello, you're earning a premier level car coming out of the gate. of becoming a new sales director. And some of them might have been doing that production in DIQ so they can come out of the gate and earn that premier level car just 2 to 3 months later. Get excited about that. And a paycheck on that for the month, you guys, is $3,755. $3,755. Now, I will break down for you that I do believe that a sales director, in order to make that money, needs to work 20 hours a week, 20 hours a week, okay? And I'll break you down the hours, but it doesn't matter my hours. Just remember that this is what I worked. Your life needs to be your life. What I hate is when people say, how did you do it? No, ask, how did you think? You see, my thought process is I'm going to be great at my parties. Will my parties always be great? No. I cannot control what people buy. I cannot control if they're going to book. I cannot control if they're going to recruit or give me guest lists, but I can control my skill level. I can control my greatness. That's all we can control, my friends, but be great. You know, National Sales Director Lily Gotro says, when your life is full of good enough, there's no room for the great. When your life is full of good enough, there's no room for the great. I dare you to be great at your appointments. I dare you to take people with you to your appointments. I dare you to use the time that you spend away from your family and make it worth it. Because I think sometimes we don't. I think sometimes we just go and do it halfway. I think sometimes we just do it good enough, and we're wasting our time and we're wasting our talents that God has given to us. And so what was my 20-hour work week as a director? 2 parties a week is 6 hours. A success night is 3 hours. That's 9 hours out of the 20. 5 hours is personal growth. That's watching this video. That's being on your nationals call. That's reading books. You guys, I'm giving you 5 hours of your 20 hours of personal growth. That's how important I think it is. That gets you to 14. 6 more hours of doing your phone calls. 6 more hours of doing your coaching. 6 more hours. And you're wondering to yourself, well, Heidi, I have all kinds of people to talk to. Take them with you. You should never go to a party alone. That's where you take your key people. That's where you do new consultant orientation. You guys, we're doing all those other things that aren't making you money. Mary Kay always said they learn while you earn. Why are we not doing what Mary Kay said? And we're sad because we're either in the first level car or we're not in a car. And we don't have integrity because we're telling people you can make 6 figures a year, but we're not making it. I get it. I know that you guys know Mary Kay works. You see your national sales director. You see her lifestyle, but it's not your lifestyle. You can have it too. All right, so that's a new director coming out of the gate. And when you multiply $3,755 a month times 12, my friends, that's $45,000 a year. That's $45,000 a year. Get excited. In addition to your car and your prizes, that will equal a $50,000 first year as a sales director. $50,000. But how about more? How about more? Okay, what if you take it to this? You build 10 a month for 7.5 months from 24. 10 a month, being a bulldog about that. Diane Menteply was a bulldog about 10 a month, and she debuted with just 24 and she went to 175 in 12 months. One of my friends, Jessie, from the Lisa Madsen area, she started doing 2 to 3 parties a week, 10 parties a month, and a gold medal, both of those. And she went from 49 unit members in January to 200 unit members in June. 20 red jackets, from 0 to 20 red jackets, an offspring sales director. She did the Court of Sharing, and she also did the $325,000 unit club and earned a Cadillac. Oh my goodness, intentionally doing 10 parties a month and gold medaling. Why not you? Why not you? So this is if when you build to 100 unit members, 7.5 months with 10 growth a month, you'll be at 100 unit members. At 100 unit members, as you see on this piece of paper, your base will raise to $9,000. That's 30% of your unit ordering. That's the goal. And your systems, when they're in place, will take care of that. The rest remains the same. Your personal new is 3,000. Your personal order is 1,000. Your new unit members is 3,000. That is Cadillac production. $17,000 straight production, not even car points. What does that equal when you look over to the right? $69,120 a year plus your bonuses, over $70,000 a year. When did I move to Cadillac, my friends? When I worked a 20-hour week and I had assistant work a 10-hour week. I believe that a Cadillac is a 30-hour a week, but you choose who works it. I love to have harmony in my life, not balance. And if you look on the other side of this piece of paper, you will see my exact paychecks, my exact 1099s from holding 2 parties a week in and week out, until I debuted as a national sales director. There were some years where I had bad attitudes, some years where I moved, and you'll see a dip in production, okay? But you'll see the unit clubs that I accomplished and the income that I made. You guys, this is real stuff. And if you want to go faster, hold more than 2 parties a week, build more than 10 new a month. Be focused about that. What are the key components? Number 1 at the bottom of that page, 8 to 10 personal parties a month. You can't get around that. Gold medaling. You are doing 8 to 10 personal parties a month with intention of gold medaling, and then raising 1 to red and 2 to senior. And then number 3, 10 new unit members a month, non-negotiable, 10 new unit members a month. When you are focused on the right things will happen. You guys, as I close up today, I know we all have different lives. I have 4 children ranging in age from 6 to 21. I'm a pastor's wife. I love to be involved in our church. I live in a small town of 1,000 people in the middle of rural Wisconsin. We all have different lives. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop wishing that you had a different lifestyle. Stop wishing you had a different husband who understood better. Stop wishing you had less kids or more kids. Stop wishing you lived somewhere else. Stop wishing you were prettier. Stop wishing you were thinner. Stop wishing you were smarter. You are enough. And where God has placed you is exactly where he wants you. And he has given you the gifts and abilities to be the very best version of you. And that's all you need. That's all you need to be the very best version of you. You see, we strive for balance, and in my brain, balance is a hard thing. I think about a teeter-totter. I think about the scales of justice. It's like I can't keep it all together, right? I'd rather think of harmony. Think of your life in harmony, like a symphony, where the winds will play the melody at one point, where the brass might play the melody at another point, where the drums might have it, or the strings. They all don't play the same at the same time. And that's with our lives. When you're newly married, your husband has the melody, and you're brand new newlyweds, and that's the most important thing in your life. When you have a new baby, if you're going to be real, you can ask Summer. The husband takes a little bit, he moves back, he doesn't have the melody because that baby is crying, and that baby needs to be fed every 3 hours, and that baby has the melody. When your 2-year-old is screaming at you, that 2-year-old has the melody. When you have teenagers, maybe the teenager has the melody. I don't know. It's your life. When you have aging parents, they didn't have the melody when you were in your 20s, but they have the melody when you're in your 50s and 60s. My friends, your life is not somebody else's life. You don't have to live in balance, because there's never going to be a balance. There's always going to be something that has the melody. One time it's going to be DIQ. Another time it's not. One time it's going to be a Cadillac. Another time it's not. You see what I'm saying? But when you are working, have the prayer, Lord, let the time that I'm working, let the time that I spend away from my family be worth it. You see, my friends, I don't believe that extreme success in Mary Kay takes more work. I don't. I think it takes better focus. What are you focusing on? Who are you focusing on? And are you willing to be all in the situation that you're in at the moment? I believe that you are. Fortenberry National Area, you're breaking records. People are watching you. Keep being the very best versions of you, because that is enough. Have a great day. Bye.